Hello, what's going on, everybody? My name is Derek, and welcome to my channel. So, this is a first for me and for this channel where I'm actually going to go live. I hope it's working. And also the camera goes very wide. I don't know how to adjust the camera. So now you can see a bunch of my office, but who cares, right? So I just thought this would be fun. I hope people engage. All right, cool. I already got some people coming in. What's up, Christine and Debbie? Debbie, you're the first one. Congratulations. Debbie R. Or no, wait a minute. I see how they're coming in. All right, so the top ones first. Christine Kranich. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but congratulations for being my first comment on my first live stream. Then we got Debbie T. Eckerstrom, Suzanne Thevenot, Harbird, Junebug, Renee, two Renees back to back, one spelt differently. Renee Brown is Renea, and Renee Martin is Renee. So obviously, I don't want to make the whole video about reading people's names, but it's already pouring in. So this is exactly what I was hoping would happen. Quite honestly, I wanted to do a live stream today because I just couldn't think of anything to talk about. I wanted to do a video today, but just one of those days. I was supposed to do a new video on Friday, and then I pushed it to Saturday, then I pushed it to today, and we all know I did a video a few videos back about procrastination and having it cause anxiety. So, I'm no stranger to that stuff. So finally I was like, you know what? I can't think of anything to talk about. I'd love to live stream, never done it before. And didn't even know how to set it up and didn't realize how easy it was to set this thing up. So I was like, why not? Let's do it. You're seeing, like, because of the wide angle here, you're actually seeing my bed. Here's my office, shelves. You got my phone right here. So who cares? But what do y'all want to talk about today? That was kind of the main theme here is, I don't know what to talk about today. So I was hoping to have a conversation with y'all and have some fun with that. Everyone's saying good morning. So yes, good morning. It is 10:47 in my time. For anyone new to this channel, I live in Hernando, Mississippi. I've been down here only a few months. From here, lived in Olive Branch, Mississippi for about a year, a little over a year. And then prior to that, I lived in Memphis, Tennessee, which is just north of here, for several years. Then I lived in Nashville, but I'm actually from Maine too. So, but anyways, this is where I'm at, Hernando, Mississippi. And it's a beautiful Sunday, nice brisk morning. Fall is finally trickling in. So that's nice. It was a brutal summer, like it is every summer here. It's always super hot. But man, I got a lot of cool comments coming in saying hello and good morning. Gulfport, Mississippi. June Bug 929, Gulfport, Mississippi. I've been to Gulfport once back in my music days when I played in casinos in a variety band. And sadly, we played in Gulfport 1 year after Katrina, and it was still a mess. We played at the Grand Casino, I believe, and how the casinos were, but prior to Katrina, I'm not sure how they are now after repair, but the casinos were on top of the water. Like you had the hotel, like a walk bridge over the street, and then the casino was on the water. And that's sort of the loophole in Mississippi is you can have a casino as long as it's on water. Well, all the casinos that were on these barges were just wiped out. So I guess in the city or state loosened the laws. So the Grand and these other casinos were allowed to still operate as a casino on land, like the hotel side of it that was on land. They allowed these casinos to use their conferencing rooms to bring in new games, slot machines, poker tables, whatever. They allowed gambling to be on land in the hotel building for obvious reasons, because the casino just got wiped out. So it was very sad to be there and see all the destruction. There was still boats inland that had been washed up. It was wild. So, but I just happened to see Gulfport, Mississippi, and that made me think of that. Y'all are pouring in now. I love it. Wilmington, North Carolina. Again, just randomly, I'm looking at states that you're all cities and states you all sending in. Beverly Hovatter, Wilmington, North Carolina. That's about an hour north of where my father lives. My father lives in it's technically Supply, North Carolina, near Holden Beach, Oak Island. He's got a nice little place right on the waterway. Anyone that lives in that area of North Carolina would know what that area is like. Judy Patterson, saw you playing. You were fantastic. Where did you see me play? That's interesting. Maynardville, Tennessee. I've never heard of Maynardville. From Canada, had someone from the UK. That's so cool to me. I can technically say I have an audience around the world, which is just bizarre. I have a lot of people that comment from the UK and Australia mostly, and Canada. So when you look through your stats, you can see where parts of the world that listen to you the most. Obviously, the States is the most. I think UK is number 2, and then Australia. It's just very cool. Knoxville, Trevor Klabau. Sorry if I butcher anyone's names. Kansas City. Is that Kansas City, Missouri, or Kansas City, Kansas? There, Kayla. This being the first time I do this, I'm finding myself asking specific people questions, and I'll never know if I'm actually going to get the answer, because it's hard for me to keep track of everybody. I don't see, it doesn't tell me like how many I got going on right yet, but I see. Looks like I have 36 people watching, got 16 thumbs up. That's good. This is really cool. So let's talk about my day yesterday. Since this is live, I feel like obviously this is real time. So let's do a little vloggy type thing. Yesterday was a very fun day. As you probably saw in my Facebook group, and if you're not aware of my Facebook group, it's Derek Mishu. Come, if you want to come check it out. I post pictures. My mother is part of it. She posts pictures. Again, you all know my mom, but in the group, I posted a few pictures and some videos of my daughter's event yesterday. She's in choir. She's in the middle school here in Hernando. She's part of the choir group. They're called Hernando Singers. And all the choir groups here, that's part of the Hernando Singers, regardless of grade and choir group, because they're all broken up into different groups. So Scholars in the Hernando Middle School treble group. First year doing it, and she's really loving it. So what they did this year is they had a festival for all of the schools or choir groups in this county, which is DeSoto County, which, the major cities is Hernando, Olive Branch, South Haven, Horn Lake. I would say those are the major ones. Then you have Walls. I can't think of the other one. Some of the smaller areas, but so all of the DeSoto choir groups went down to Oxford, Mississippi, which is about an hour south of here, which is home of Ole Miss University. And all these groups and schools bussed down to the university and competed. And one after another, each group went up and sang 2 songs. I went and drove down later. This school bus left at like 10:15 in the morning, and Scholars group was at like 1:30. But I got there early. Showed up around 12:30, saw some of the other schools, and it's a beautiful auditorium. Anyways, back to my Facebook group. You can check out these pictures and videos on there. It was just a fun experience. Once I watched all of the Hernando schools. Nope, that's not true. The treble groups, um, which was all the girls, in other words. Um, then it was break time for the kids and the students, and all the schools were busing them to out get some food and get to eat some lunch. And that's when I headed back north, back home. Later in the afternoon were all the boy high school men groups and middle school boy groups, as they call them. So, um, so that was fun. It was just a neat experience, seeing Skylar do something, extracurricular like that. And it's the first main event for the school year for the choir group. And that's a big thing. That's a big deal. Taking a bus trip an hour south to another big university, and it's a beautiful university, beautiful auditorium. So again, check out my Facebook group. It's my name, Derek Mishu, same as my YouTube channel. And I've also started posting questions in there, as you all have noticed. Anyone watching this that is in the group, I'm trying to engage better in the group rather than just a place to promote a new video. And I do the same thing for my podcast, like my business. Anyone that's unfamiliar, I own and operate a podcast production agency, and I handle a client base of business owners, content creators, entrepreneurs that want to produce a podcast for their company and their brand. So they hire people like me to take care of that for you. And I have an agency with a group of people and team members behind me that can help edit and design graphics and video edit and all these different things that are essential to producing a quality podcast. So my business has its own group in Facebook called, I think it's Podcasting for Creators and Producers. So for the longest time, I would just use that platform to post social media stuff, just like everything I posted on Instagram, everything I posted on LinkedIn. Each platform was just getting the same thing. And I realized Facebook groups are different. You need to engage. It's a different feel, different vibe. It's not just, hey, check out my new episode, or on my personal group for this channel, hey, I got a new video up. I'm trying to get better at making the group unique to itself. When I first opened the group up, I was talking about how I wanted to do exterior videos when I'm out and about, but it's hard for me to do that because I'm just not a social media person. I mean, I just don't put myself out there. I never have until recently, with this channel. So I have not kept that promise as far as putting videos out on Facebook group. What I do want to do is post questions in there and more engaging. One was, what kind of dog would you want to be? Hundreds of comments on that. That was fun, to see just what kind of dog you'd want to be. Then one was, what was your one victory for the day? And that ties into some of the later videos I've been putting out. It's more of the self-help kind of vibe, where I share my stories in spaces like anxiety and depression and procrastination and self-doubt, imposter syndrome. I've been doing videos like that. So on the Facebook group, I'm trying to help there too in a different way. So when I ask and post a card that's asking you, what was your one victory for the day? In a way, that's my attempt to, hey, we have crappy days. What was the one moment today that, and you felt, okay, I accomplished it, even if it meant washing one dish? It was an accomplishment, right? And I know for myself, I lose total perspective on that, where I'm constantly worried about the future and decisions I need to make and projects that I'm trying to do and whatever it may be. I always feel like I'm behind or I'm not doing things well enough. So it's like you can't see the forest through the trees. That's a saying I hear a lot. So it's important to remind yourself, well, man, I got some bad news today on this. I stubbed my toe. But what was good? What happened today? What was my victory? Uh, making your bed, which mine is not made, but that is a real thing. And it's usually made. And I um, spent time with a business coach last year into early this year. And he was straight up. He's like, first thing in the morning, make your bed. Just make your bed. And it sets the path. It makes you feel like you accomplished something because you did. You made your bed. That's an accomplishment. That's a victory. And there's those little things that you can do to, get your day rolling, get the ball rolling. Another question I posted on the group was, what was the funniest thing that happened in your day? Again, we all have bad days, but every day has to have at least one funny thing. If you have a pet, I mean, a dog will make you laugh. That's why they're so amazing. So that got a lot of comments too, which was very fun to read. Also, man, I got some great comments recently on God, I think it was the video I did about procrastination. I don't have the numbers in front of me here, but it's in the title, it's in the thumbnail. And a lot of you were like, hey, you motivated me to do X. That's super cool. I if there was just one of you that got up and said, you know what, I've been procrastinating on this for too long. It totally makes me anxious. I'm doing it now. And if that you accomplish that and relieve some anxiety from your life because of watching one of my videos, then that's the coolest thing ever. That is amazing, and I love hearing about that. And I've said before, I'm not here to try to be a psychologist or a therapist. Right now, actually, since we're live, cheers. Let's have a cup of coffee together. This is so different because I'm rambling. I'm coming in here with no predetermined topic. So let's see here, man. I got piles of comments coming in. If you were to pick a spirit animal, what would it be? I think that's from the movie, right? That's from a movie, I believe. I'd want to be a dog. Dogs are the best. They're the coolest. Or let me say this: when I go to the zoo, which the Memphis Zoo is amazing, by the way, the two exhibits that I love the most, and I'm not saying I want to be these animals, but the animals that really just hit my soul are the lions and the gorillas. And yeah, Memphis has 4 gorillas, and they're awesome. And I can just sit there and just watch them sit there. Once in a while, you get lucky and you'll see them. There's more movement, or they're climbing up one of their I don't know what you would call it, but they got the trees and everything. Places for them to climb up and sit and just hang out, and it's like their own little playground. And the exhibit is nice. There's a nice little brook going through the bottom of it. They have some decent space. But even when they're just sitting and chilling, they're so human-like. It's so eerie and cool. So I'm mesmerized by gorillas. Number one. That's my number one. And then I've always loved tigers. I think tigers are amazing. They're beautiful. They're majestic. But as I started going to the zoo more, I found myself really enjoying the lions, the lion exhibit. And I believe there's 3 lions, 1 male and 2 lionesses, I guess you'd call them. And they're just beautiful, so big, just a big head and big paws. And I actually prefer the lionesses because they don't have the big mane. The mane is impressive. I mean, let's face it, a male lion is an impressive beast. But the lioness, without having that mane, it's just such a more handsome animal, which is weird because it's a female, right? But there's handsome women, that's a real thing. So I feel like the lionesses are just amazing, and I can stare at them forever too. Some of the other things I like, giraffes. Um, the way the zoo is set up, I have a certain route that I can take because I have a membership there. So some days I just have nothing to do. I want to kill some time, go for a walk. Well, rather than go to a park, let's go walk through the zoo. So I'll just pop in. I get free parking, obviously free admission with my membership, 15% off food and drinks. There's been times where I just go in, walk for an hour, leave, and not spend a dime, not buy any food, don't need any food, just go. So I have this route where I hit the lions, I hit the gorillas, and then the next thing I hit, or next exhibit I go to is the hippos, which is super cool. Now, the problem with the hippo exhibit is they, for the most part, just live underwater. And which is such a unique thing. They're this big animal, but they can hang out underwater forever. They just come up for a little air and that's it. And they just float like a big balloon, like a submarine. They just float around. But there's times where they get a little active and they swim around, which is cool. And a few times I've seen one actually out of the water and walk. But always got to go see the hippos. These are animals that I have to see. The next out of there, just I have to, as I walk out of that exhibit, you see these awesome crocodiles, these amazing crocodiles. And one day was really cool because I was able to experience them meaning the zoo takers, the animal takers, feeding the crocodiles, which was pretty impressive. Big chicken hanging from raw, you know, skinned chicken, not a live chicken, hanging on a big wire, and the crocodiles would just jump out of the water and grab it. I was like, wow, it was cool. More often than not, they're just totally still on the ground with their mouth open and still like a rock. Then from there, I shoot over to the giraffes. Those are always fun. Caught. We have several giraffes. And then you can feed the giraffes for like $5. You one by one go on this little deck that's high, so that way as the giraffe comes to the deck, their face is right even with your face, and they have these coolers where they give you like a handful of romaine lettuce, and you get like 5 big leaves, and you just feed them, and they get this big tongue that comes out, and they're super sweet and nice and um, very gentle. So that's pretty cool. You can feed the giraffes, and then from there, this section is the Africa section. So then you get the the zebras, rhinos. As you circle around, you got the elephants, which is really cool. And then from there, I believe the next one I go to is the pandas. We got 2 pandas, and never, ever once have I ever seen them walk. They they're just weird because they sit down and they like lean against something, and their hind legs just kind of sprawl out. They're just kind of sitting like I am, and then they have this ability to hold things, and they just chew on bamboo. Or I see them sleeping. That's it. I've never seen one. I don't think I've ever seen hind legs move in a live exhibit for pandas. And then, gosh, I think that ends up circling me back to the gorillas. I always go to the gorillas and lions twice. The way I have my route, I hit those twice. But there's plenty of other awesome, amazing things. A lot of all the different cats. You got a reptile exhibit, which I'm not very much into. I don't even go in there. You have an exhibit with spiders and all these different spiders, penguins. There for a while there was a kangaroo exhibit, which I never got to go to. They don't regularly have kangaroos, but they had this exhibit for a little while. Did not get a chance to go see the gorillas, but there's so many more animals at the zoo that I can't think of right now. But for some reason, I felt like going on a tangent about my zoo. All right, so man, I'm getting a lot of cool emojis. I love penguins at my zoo. They're so cute, and I love the seals too. Ah, the seals, yes, that's one of the things I go to. At any point of the day, you can go into um, this room where you can stand in front of the glass and you can see the seals swim around. But there's also a little, like a tiny little auditorium that you can sit in too if they ever kind of get out and walk around. But that little auditorium is for the shows. I think 2 to 3 times a day they put on a show where the trainers come out and make the seals balance the ball in their nose and flap their flappers and do certain things. It's amazing how well they can be trained. I think there's 3 of them total. And that's super fun. It's about 10, 15 minutes, 3 times a day, which is super fun. But the seals, you know, I call them, there's a baseball team in Portland, Maine called the Sea Dogs. And I totally agree. They're like the dogs of the ocean. They just have this vibe to them, like they're dogs. They're just super fun. So yeah, the seals are awesome. I love them. So how was y'all's week? Let me just say that my week in general was good and busy. Um, I kind of sometimes my week is a blur because I work all day, and then I have Skylar after school every day, and then the next day starts. That's how it rolls for me. But ooh, spiders or snakes? Question mark? No, absolutely not. Summer's day. Um, I hate snakes more than anything. I really hate snakes. Just even seeing a picture online or something, just like, oh God, just no thanks. I also don't like frogs, ironically, which sometimes feels weird to say, but I know of other people that feel the same way. I don't know. I think I know why, but when I was younger and hanging out with cousins and stuff out camping, we used to try to catch frogs, and they were very much into it, and I was not. And I think I just didn't like what they felt like in my hand. Same with the holding a fish. It's not that they're slimy and gross. It's like holding just a pure pulsating muscle in my hand. I can't explain it. It feels weird. I don't like having a frog in my hand. And then certainly when they're bouncing around and stuff, they kind of freak me out a little bit. Not like snakes. I can't hold a frog. Get a snake away from me. I don't even want to touch one. But frogs do weird me out. I'm not a fan. um, then spiders, look, I don't love spiders either. I'm not someone that's gonna let a tarantula like some people walk around me. But I've always grown up killing spiders for my mother and grandmother because they are not fans. So I'm no stranger to that. But yeah, snakes, no go for me. Summer's Day it comes back. Oh no, no frogs. Well, I guess I have to stop watching now. um, but I can see why people love frogs. So they're kind of cute, They're goofy little animals, but something about holding them. Ooh, have you been to the Peabody Hotel and seen the duck parade? Yes. Well, yes and no. First off, context to anyone that doesn't know what the heck that means. There's a historical hotel in Memphis, Tennessee called the Peabody Hotel, and it's right downtown. It's old, famous hotel. And there's this thing about ducks there, and I don't know the whole story behind it, but what they do is parade these ducks. There's a big fountain in the lobby. The ducks just swim around in there. They're trained to stay in there. And then I think in the morning and the afternoon, they have this parade that the ducks with a, I don't even know the name of the person, what the term would be, but this person that has all set up in like a bellhopper kind of suit, red with buttons and a little hat and everything, marches the ducks from wherever they stay overnight down through the hotel, from the roof all the way down, elevators, down a hallway, down steps, into the lobby and into the water. And that's where they stay. They just float around. And then later, when it's time for them to go to bed, I guess, or their day is done, which is like around 5:30, and there's a reason why I know that, and I'll get to that. But same thing, person basically marches the ducks up. Well, what I learned is, let's say there's 5 ducks. One of them is the lead duck, and the other ones are trained to follow it. So the person that's controlling this is directing the lead duck. That's all that person has to worry about. As long as they get the lead duck in line and that lead duck is doing what it's supposed to do, all the other ducks just follow suit, and they go up the steps, down a hallway, into an elevator, to the roof, across the roof, into wherever they sleep. Now, here's why I know this directly. During the summertime, they have live music on the roof, and it's really cool. It's like Thursday nights, and it's all local bands, mostly local cover bands, but some of the bigger names in the town. And it's super fun. It's great. Nice atmosphere. You can see the city. It's awesome. I had the fortune to play one several years ago, and in the contract, the ducks come up in the contract because there's an overlap in time where the ducks are coming over the roof. They've come up from their pond, and they have to walk across the roof. What I also mention is they lay out a red carpet for these ducks. It's just weird. I wish I knew more of the history as to why this is a tradition, but I don't. But when they do that, it's at the same time where the band is setting up and sound checking, which brings volume and noise, and the drummer's hitting the snare drum, pow, pow, pow. And check 1, 2, check, check, check. We've all heard that. It can be loud, and the sound people are playing music through the PA to make sure everything's working right. So sound check's loud. It's noisy. So the time the ducks walk past the roof or across the roof is the same time on Thursdays that a band is setting up and sound checking. Well, in the contract, it is absolutely you have to shut up. Done. For, I think it's like a 20-minute period. There's to be no sound, period, in the contract. So I would say in that 20-minute span of time, if you hit a snare drum, you're breaking contract. And they do that because they want to give the ducks complete peace as they walk by. So we're just standing there on the stage. We've been told, you got to shut it down. Zero noise, no volume, nothing. And we just stand there. We're like, okay. And then eventually the ducks come through the door. Already by now, there's someone rolled out the red carpet. And the ducks just across the roof. They go do what they do. They go into their cages, wherever they go. I have no idea. They just went from right to left and disappeared. They roll up the carpet. Good to go. Snare drum. Pow, pow, pow. So that's a very random story. I wish I had more detail on why, but just a strange thing. Someone here mentioned the Peabody Hotel. So anyone that might live in this area, as far as the greater Memphis area, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Man, I've been on here for 35 minutes, which I believe might be a record length time. I'm anxious to see how this turns out as far as views. That's another reason why I wanted to try this, to see uh, how this performs analytically, because it's so different. Gene, speaking of playing live, do you miss the adrenaline of playing in bands? Must be a huge transition to not gigging after doing so for so long. It's a good point. I did it so long, and I chased that carrot for so long, that the thought of all the work that surrounds the moment where I'm on stage is just not attractive to me anymore. It just isn't. I've traveled enough. I've seen the whole country. I've played in Europe. I've played in the Virgin Islands. I've driven, both like literally holding the steering wheel or just being in a van, for thousands and thousands and thousands of miles, for thousands and thousands of hours. All the breakdowns, all the things that go wrong, but all the beautiful sights, all of that was fun. And then it was not fun anymore. It's a lot of work for 2 hours of actual enjoyment. Hurry up and wait is the big thing. You drive 10 hours, then you show up, and then you sound check, and then you have, you're in the hotel now getting dressed, you're exhausted, and then you wait. And then a couple hours later, okay, it's time to go to the show. And then you have fun for the most part. Sometimes that can even be not fun. Then you're done playing. Then you tear the gear down, you load it back out, you throw it in the trailer, you go back to your hotel, sleep for 4 hours, get in the truck, and 10 hours home. It's like, man, it's a lot of work. And that's what wears you out. But the adrenaline of playing in front of a good crowd is like a drug for sure. It's been so long, I kind of forget what it feels like. I'm so detached in a good way. I kind of stepped away for the first time in 20 years comfortably, when I was finally to a point where, like, you know what, I need to focus on my business. I just don't want to have to try to hustle and chase down another gig. I'm just kind of over it. And to the point where this, I think, like, second week of December will be a full year since I played my instrument, which is bass guitar. So, and I'm cool with it. It's odd. Never in a million years did I think I would ever go that long without playing. But I have, and it's been nice. Just kind of having that one less thing to stress about. And like I said, all the work around it makes me cringe. I'll see videos of buddies here locally playing some of the local bars, and I'm just like, ugh, no. Even then, the playing isn't as fun because you're not playing in front of big crowds. Some of these bars, people don't really listen. They don't really care. There's nothing more demoralizing when I see a friend doing an acoustic show live on Facebook. It's just solo acoustic, and playing and singing their butt off. And all you really can hear is just all the chatter in the back room. Everyone just talking. And the song ends. You get like one person clapping, but then it's just an echo of chatter as people are having drinks and not really paying attention. And that's just such a bummer to me, because they're not really listening to the music. So that's no fun. But well, look, thanks, Gene. You retired from it in a satisfied way. That is amazing. Thank you. I do feel like I retired from it. Only no pension, no Social Security yet. But yeah, I've moved on, and you know what? Someday it'll come back around. I feel like when Skylar's older, in high school, or especially after she graduates, when I don't know, by then I might want to get back into it. But in the meantime, I'm good. So, well, look, 40 minutes in, I feel like I've rambled enough here. This has been a fun experiment. This is something I want to do more. Maybe next time I will promote it on the group, letting you know, hey, tonight at such and such time I might go live, or if I'm announcing it, then I will be going live. Maybe next time I'll have a more of a plan, an idea of what I want to talk about. But this being the first one and just trying something new, I just wanted to do it. Pop on, see what it's like. And I appreciate y'all hanging out. So many of you have commented. It's awesome. Thank you for watching my channel and my videos. It's amazing. Especially the recent string of videos I put out where the more self-help style. I feel like I've struck a chord with y'all, because we can all relate to these things. So more of that will be coming. Yeah, so look, Facebook group. Also, if you ever want to donate or help support, I have a Patreon page with a tip jar. That's all it is a tip jar. It's $1 a month. Um, Link in my description. And also, I have a community board that I post some stuff on too. So check all of those things out. Look, have a great rest of your Sunday, and we will talk to you all again soon. Thank you.